Whatever curve you are obtaining is known as particle size distribution curve. Particle size distribution curve. Okay? And from this, you could able to read three parameters already covered in theory: D10. Okay? So all that you require to do is just draw horizontal line and then read that particular size. That becomes D10. Similarly, D30 and then D60. You are going to read, and with the help of these three notations and of course what is called substituting and then obtaining the factor CUCC, you are going to find out. In terms of CUCC, you are going to infer about the gradation of soil. General guidelines: CU more than 4, less than 6 and CC 1 to 3 is the characteristic feature of a well graded gravel. If it is more than 6, CU value more than 6, CC is in the range of 1 to 3, then we call it as well graded sand. And whenever CU value is less than 1, CC value is less than 1, it is considered to be poorly graded. Okay? In our previous understanding, we understood all these things in a much better way. Okay? And of course, this is going to be a gentle S-curve, and you know very well uniformly graded is going to be the characteristic feature of a small range. The particle distribution is going to be in small range. This is going to be uniformly graded. Okay? And what other is going to be there as part of poorly graded? The next one is going to be gap graded. So this one, first one A is going to be well graded, and then B and C together will come under poorly graded. It is just by nature of curve, but we have to decide that with the help of CUCC values. Okay? So this is about this particular what's called test called sieve analysis. And now it is my duty to tell you, so it's my duty to tell you whatever we discussed till now is called dry sieve analysis. Dry sieve analysis, because soil medium is in dry state. We are sieving it when the soil medium is in dry state. So obviously you will get common sense questions. Sir, is there going to be wet sieve analysis? The answer is yes. Why? When do we require wet sieve analysis? We require wet sieve analysis. So according to our dry sieve analysis, all these particles are having size greater than 4.75 millimeter, isn't it? So now I am going to demonstrate you one important truth.
The side of a square opening is 4.75 or diameter is 4.75?
Side square, side. Okay? So now I am just staring in front of you. Now tell me, what is responsible for this coloring? What is responsible for this coloring? Smaller size particles. Where are they? Where were they? They were resting on the large size particles. Okay? Don't you think it is going to be substantial when I just clean them? When I clean, then only these particles are going to get separated. So the limitation or drawback of dry sieve analysis is whenever final particles are clinging on top of the coarse particles, it is not going to give accurate result. The alternative is we have to perform wet sieve analysis, wherein washing of soils takes place. Okay? So how that is done? Incidentally, it is not part of your actually project work. I mean this particular laboratory course, but you should know about it. We are taking again the same weight of 600 grams, and then we are going to add dispersion agent like sodium hexametaphosphate according to the manufacturer standards, 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons according to its concentration, and then we are adding water and we are allowing it for what's called discretization, for about 24 hours. Okay? This dispersion agent sodium hexametaphosphate is going to come in contact with the particles, coarser particles, and make the smaller particles get detached from the coarser particles. Once that is done, the procedure of what's called wet sieve analysis goes, we are actually taking the 75 micron sieve, and I am transferring that water together, soil with water together is there. I am transferring it onto it, and then under a tap I am washing with my hands. Okay, so then whatever fines are there, the way they are looking here, they will all get drained out. Okay, and you are left with very cleaned particles retained on 75 microns, meaning to say they are all having size greater than 75 microns. Now I am going to keep this in a oven for 24 hours of drying. Then I am transferring them onto the uppermost 4.75 mm sieve, and I am repeating the same dry sieve analysis procedure. The advantage of wet sieve analysis is we could able to what's called detach all fine particles which were clinging on top of coarse particles. So therefore, if whenever you find there is going to be what's called unclean particles, when the particles are appearing to be unclean, this is not clean actually. Okay, so when you wash it, it will become clean. So whenever you find such conditions, it is recommended to proceed with wet sieve analysis. Okay, dry sieve analysis will deceive us. Sometimes when you do dry sieve analysis, the particles finer than 75 microns, what you are finding is going to be hardly few grams, 7 grams, 8 grams. But when you do same soil wet sieve analysis, this content will zoom up to 20%, 24% also. So that is the error possible when you are performing dry sieve analysis. It is for knowledge purpose. As far as today's class is concerned, because of paucity of time, okay, and other reasons, you are proceeding with dry sieve analysis only. But yesterday I showed you black colored one. When we pulverize and try to sieve, this is going to be majority. Okay, minus 75 micron proportion is going to be majority. So when you want to draw the curve, this is where minus 75 microns. So it will be something like this. The curve will be something like this, 75 microns. So almost 80% or 90% is going to be finer than this. Okay, and whatever higher is there, it's going to be something like this. Okay, it's going to be something like this. Never this curve can be more than 100%. Please mind that your curve should never exceed 100%. Okay, and now the question is, 90% is below this size. Does it mean that you have made 100% particle size analysis? No, it requires further evaluation. But there are no sieves. How to proceed? The answer is in terms of sedimentation analysis. Particles are very small, but we are actually making them a solution and then allowing them to settle down. Stokes' law is going to help us. Larger the diameter of the particles, great faster will be the settling velocity. Keeping that principle in mind, we are examining within this 90% of fines, larger size, larger diameter particles are in what proportion when compared to the smaller particles. For your information, all particles finer than 2 microns are more likely to be in Brownian motion and they do not settle at all. Particles having size greater than 2 microns but smaller than 75 microns are going to settle down. Simple terms, minus 75 plus 2 belongs to silt sized particles. Minus 2 and below are belonging to clay sized particles. Silts will settle down, but clays will be in Brownian motion. Clear? So this is what is about particle size analysis. Because of time I am compressing it here, I am stopping.